Hello and welcome to Mahou Shoujo, a little visual novel on Ichio by Takosu Games. And, well, the premise is that it takes place in a world where magical girls, or Mahou Shoujo, are like defenders of the world, you know, just like in the shows. Like, if you heard like Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura, or even Madoka, you know, Magical Madoka. Well, that's kind of a subversion of the magical girl genre. But yeah, like Mahou Shoujo, they're like superheroes that save the world, but also they're a form of entertainment. That seems interesting. Let's find out what that means. Yeah. It's the end of a late night. With her work for the day done, Jo is ready for a relaxed ride home. Out from her railboard, she fishes for her cassette player and one of her tapes. And yeah, I guess a feature of this little visual novel, since I opened it up early before I streamed, you can choose like music from the cassette tape, so that's cool. These are my variety of songs. Though I've heard, or rather I saw that some of these songs are copyrighted. I think it's this one. I think this one's copyrighted. I'm not sure. There might be other ones though. I don't know. Which makes it a little awkward for me because I might not be able to play all the songs because they might be muted on the YouTube or even Twitch. Actually, I don't know if Twitch. It might mute the VOD if I play a copyrighted song. Depends if I talk over it, I guess. But well, we'll see. If I have to make some edits later, I'll just have to do that. Oh well. But anyway. A soft, scratchy static fills the void. A soft, scratchy static fills the void tracks as she slides her board onto the railway. Okay, so that's her. Yeah. Jo silently counts the beats leading up to the track. 1, 2, at 3 on the dot. An electric twang of the guitar kicks up. A thumping bass grooves along and keeps the music centered. Drum beats underscore dreamy lyrics. As the railway glides silently beneath her, Jo taps her feet, sways her head to the summery beats dancing in her ears. Her rhythm gets disrupted by a soft hum reverberating from within her pocket. A practiced motion slides her phone out from its poly-cotton enclosure. Its bright digital display proclaims the phrase Connie in stark white letters. She squints. Somewhere in the back of her mind, a faceless optometrist chides her for not taking care of her eyes. You gotta wear your glasses, or, well, if your eyesight is not that good, you either get glasses, contact lens, or laser eye surgery. You know. Jo shrugs it off. If real people couldn't fix her poor habits, a figment of her imagination was about to change that. Removing one of her earbuds, she answers the call. What's up? It's more of a statement than a question. She knows what's up. Some bullshit task filed by some bullshit techie whose bullshit she's got to unbullshit. A gravely voice responds from the other end of the line, reeking of Mediterranean gruffness. Why can't I say that word? Mediterranean. It confirms her suspicions of bullshittery in short barks. Mediterranean. Anyway. Gotcha. I'll head over now. Jo lets out a deep sigh and puts her earbud back in its rightful place. Her body weight shifts carefully to the right, switching tracks. Well, switching. Oh, okay. So I was gonna say switching tracks as in music tracks, or switching tracks as in like these little like weird board tracks. I don't know what you call this. Like a railway, especially or exclusively for her like board thing. Skateboard? Hoverboard? I don't know. This is like a world of magical girls, right? So probably a lot of magic involved. There aren't many trains heading out to Salala Heights at this time of the night, so she can afford to be lazily reckless. Jo slows her railboard apparently, down to a gentle cruise. Limbs and muscles groan in tired satisfaction as she twists and stretches, the misty ocean air breezing around her. I mean, I guess a railboard, it's like the equivalent of like a bicycle, but on the railway? I don't know. Seems a little weird to me. But I guess that's how it is. The next song is kicking up. Oh, is that my cue? Because, well, the song doesn't change automatically, I don't think. You gotta change it yourself. Jo keeps her finger away from the fast forward button, eagerly anticipating the track. Smooth disco beats shimmer into being. Disco. Is it funky? I know. Okay, let's this one. Alright. Change it to that one. Yeah. Though I assume like probably like any song like lyrics. I know one of the songs. I know this song I actually like checked. There is lyrics to that. So maybe if there's like lyrics in the song, it might get copyrighted. You know, like automatically anyway. I don't know. Anyway, I'll worry about that later. It's fine. Yeah, there's lyrics here, I think. There's a little bit of lyrics. I don't know. Pushed up vocals, serenade Jo with a peppy ballad, keeping energetic tempo with the groovy rhythm. Bright guitar tones compel her to use what little space she has on the board to bust a move. She does so at the risk of falling. Dancing on your board seems very dangerous. But worth it, apparently. Her board and mind go on autopilot. Jo has already done her work for the day. She doesn't need to try and keep her brain busy with delusions that she's being mentally productive. Dub City's luminescent skyline quickly fades as she glides further away from the shore, rays of light disappearing into the ocean black. Moments later, Jo's railboard interrupts her music and gives off a cheery chime, snapping her out of her hypnotic reverie. Her destination has snuck up on her as she suddenly finds herself bathed in artificial warmth. With a yawn, Jo hops onto the station platform and shoulders her railboard. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I guess in this universe, there's like alternative transportation. Like, I assume like this is like, you know, very advanced, modern like speed train, bullet train kind of thing. So I assume it's like kind of like Japan, obviously. And apparently, there's like railways exclusively for like railboards as well. She has no idea why she bothered installing two shoulder straps. The warm fabric on the right strap looks ready to give out at any moment. Jo dismissively flies that away as something to check on later, along with a few dozen other tasks. You know, I guess this is her face right here. She looks tired. You know, I wonder if she's tired all the time, or maybe this is just an exception. Yeah, apparently she has been working all day, right? As she descends the concrete steps from the station onto the leaf-covered pathway, a gust of autumn wind runs a chill across her skin. The sudden shift from technology to nature was amazing when she first came to Salala Heights years ago. Not that Jo doesn't still think it's any less amazing. It's just part of the routine nowadays. She's suddenly cognizant of the fact that her tape has reached its end. A quick flip of the switch, and it's rolling in reverse. A flutter of trumpets heralds singer-songwriter Henry's 1983 classic "Shyness Boy." You know, it's kind of weird. Like in the dialogue, she's saying she's listening through different songs. I guess we can also do it here, but I don't think "Shyness Boy." I don't know if it's here. "Shyness Boy." I don't think the songs mentioned in the dialogue is songs you can choose on this little menu. I don't know. Timely. Jo takes a moment to fish out a cigarette from her jacket, cursing the breeze that will inevitably give her shit for trying to address her tobacco fix. After a flick of her lighter and a puff of tobacco, Jo continues her meandering pace down to the stage. Well, let's change to a different song. Let's change this one. The trees soon give way to a massive clearing, at the center of which stands an impressive setup of bleachers, platforms, and countless technological marvels courtesy of MGI. What does that stand for? Magical Girls Incorporated? Maybe? Big, like, dragon dinosaur thing in a stage? Reminds me of, well, other than the giant dragon thing, it reminds me of idols. Japanese pop idols. Jill takes out her phone once more, waiting for the piece of shit to catch up with her impatience. The work order Connie sent her describes a malfunctioning loader that's performance critical. Joe scoffs. The pulsing portal's center stage illuminates a massive structure behind it. A towering animatronic dragon stands vigil, its cutesy features giving off an air of melancholy in the midnight gloom. So it's a dragon, I guess, yeah. It's kind of a fake dragon, really. Performance critical my ass. There's enough firepower on this thing to level a small village. MGI is taking anybody these days. As Jill draws close to the animatronic, her attention shifts towards the portal at its feet. She stops for a moment, letting the swirling mass of energy take her back to a different place and time. She shrugs it off with a grin and brings herself back to the present. Alright, what fresh hell waits me here? There are a number of possibilities for what could be wrong with the loader. Joe starts with the most obvious. A quick diagnostic reveals a problem so dumb it makes her laugh from the sheer incompetence. Some idiot messed around with the hydraulic settings and overloaded the pressure. A quick thwap of our multi-tool's hammer on a few knobs, and the loader hisses back to normal. There you go, fixed it up. Might as well change my title from lead assistant technician to glorified tech support. Not that she minds her job all that much. It's good enough. Pays the bills. She likes Connie, gets decent pay, and she pretty much does her own thing. Still, at times like these, or this, when the world slows down to meet her pace, she gets an inch. With her job done, she can finally go back home. Joe takes a quick look at her phone. 12:23. Not too late, by her standards anyway. She does a token scan of her surroundings, confident that no one is around to see her scratch the itch that grows with each passing second. From one of her railboar's compartments, Joe pulls out a worn cassette tape titled Performance Mix. Her old friend Maria is poised and ready to go with her hit 2008 single Shiawase no Monosashi. Shiawase no Monosashi? It's been several years since she's held a wand, but her multi-tool has served in its place with distinction. After switching out tapes, she hits play and assumes her position, center stage. Well, that's my cue to change it. Excuse me? Do you change it again? Maybe change it to this one? Words from a person infinitely wiser than her flood her memories. Stance wide, breathe in, shoulders squared, breathe out. Old instincts flare up and carry her through each beat, each punch of the track. Joe smiles, for the first time, smiles brilliantly for her invisible audience, giving her a magnificent flourish as she encourages them to follow along with her. It really is like idols. An accusatory hand points defiantly towards the portal. Won't give an inch to these invaders from another world. Thunderous applause roars within her head. A decades-old drumbeat pulses to an electrifying melody. With each imaginary foe that falls, she strikes a pose towards her adoring fans. The multi-tool in her hands has transformed before her eyes. She recalls a hefty warhammer with each swing, feeling the memory of a satisfying thwack as she pummels another enemy. A different place, a different time. But for the briefest of moments, it feels like here and now. And like it was just overpressurized, or it was actually Joe was saying this, and like it was just overpressurized. Who the fuck? Language. Oh yeah, it might be. Anyways, who the heck decides to mess around with machinery they're clearly unqualified to operate? I mean, I guess that's our boss, or at least the manager. I mean, we set it all up for them, make sure everything's properly calibrated and shit. Language. Properly calibrated and stuff. All they have to do is press a few buttons and make sure nothing blows up. So you just whapped it? I prefer the term aggressive readjustment. Just hit it, that always works. I will aggressively readjust your hours if you do not get back to work, Joanna. I'm working, Connie. What, does it look like I'm not working? It looks like you're sitting around complaining. Hey, Squirt, you can't talk to your supervisor like that. Connie, can I talk to Joe like that? Yes. I resent the implication. What implication? That I have no authority. But nobody. I feel personally attacked. Good. Now get back to work. You too, Vera. But I'm not even on the clock today. I'm just here to tweak Joe's board. Then what is your excuse? Excuse me, Mr. Kafalas? I was giving insightful commentary on the poor state of affairs with our on-site technicians. Bad excuse. Back to work. Yeah. Joe has worked long enough with Connie to know when he's reached the limit of his tolerance. Judging from his creased forehead and the stink eye he keeps throwing her way, she's just about reached it. And I guess, yeah, if you read on the Ishio page, I mean, in this setting, Joe was a magical girl, you know? But not so much now. She's just a technician these days. So she was like, that little flashback we had of her, you know, beating up enemies with a giant warhammer. I guess that's who she was before, when she was a magical girl. She's still a little bit nostalgic about it, you know? And then also, again, it's kind of weird, like, it's like this stage, like a big stage, and it's like this Mahou shoujo thing is like a show, but also it's like the world is actually in peril at the same time, you know? People, well, I don't know, it's like, I assume like monsters come from an alternate dimension through a portal somehow and are trying to destroy the world, and everyone's just making a show out of it. With a shrug, Jo goes back to her work. Her latest project is rigging animatronics. It's nothing like the massive dragon she encountered last night. Now, this animatronic is a bit more low-key, more window dressing than anything. The theme for this performance is supposed to be around the world. Around the world. No. As such, MGI requested fanciful regional icons from an approved list of nations. Rigging the machines is the easy part. Figuring out how to not offend anyone is the real challenge. You know, I'm still not entirely sold on the flying carpet. What? You should be a rug instead? Why would anyone fly a rug? Why would somebody fly a carpet? No, that's not the point. Aren't they the same thing? Well, no, but... A rug I can see on the floor of a very rich man. Oh, I see. That makes sense then. Aladdin was a peasant, right? Yes. Well, he became a prince, didn't he? So does that mean the carpet became a rug? It would make sense. Before Joe can butt in to say precisely how that doesn't make sense, her phone begins to vibrate. A quick glance at the screen brings a smile to her face. Yo, how's it going? Well, there's nobody here to greet me, so... Oh, fuck. Language. Connie keeps reminding Joe not to use swear words. That was today. The voice on the line giggles and sighs in a way that is comfortably shaming. Yes, Joanna, it was today. Okay, Joe looks over to Connie with pleading eyes. Joe, or rather, yeah. Kinda weird because the dialogue sometimes it goes over here, and then when I click it, like there's another line here. Usually when you click on a dialogue, like a new line of dialogue, like goes to the next box or whatever. If you know what I mean, I guess I'm I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. But yeah, the way it scrolls the text, sometimes I look at it, I accidentally repeat the first line again. But anyway. Bleeding eyes, he wordlessly nods, completely unsurprised. I'll be there as soon as possible. In a flurry of motion, Jo puts aside her work for later. Really, what it amounts to her, or to is, her throwing a bundle of wires and tools into a pile on a nearby bench. Vero, how's my board? Well, the hover pads are completely ready. You can hop between rails now, but if you try to give yourself an upward boost, the limiters are kinda wonky, so I might over... Good enough. Thanks, Squirt. With a ruffle of Vero's head and a wave to Connie, Jo quickly sets out to give her best friend a warm welcome home. I guess that was her best friend, the summery voice. Back on the railboard. Fresh, shops, laser rollers. It's a short ride to the Hyperloop station made even shorter by Jo's board. Vera's addition of hover pads has given Jo even more ways to recklessly endanger her life and everyone around her. Amazing. Change the music there. But damn if it doesn't feel sick as shit. The slab of metal beneath her feet chugs along. Her new hover pads, albeit somewhat shaky, let her quickly jump between rail lines. In a matter of minutes, Jo has pulled up to the station stop. You know what I wonder now? You know, this is like a visual novel, right? But I wonder if there was like, or maybe not, but you could like fit in like a little mini game, you know, while Jo was like traveling from place to place, like a little like railway mini game on her board. I don't know. It would fit if somehow you could put it in. Her appearance between the trains raises more than a few eyebrows. Ignoring all of them, Jo hops off into the station platform and shoulders her railboard. Station, where frantically measured power walking takes her by joyous reunions, Kitschy, Dub City trinkets, and colorful railway advertisements trying to reaffirm your allegiance to them. Okay, Nation Loop, where are you? After a moment of considering asking for help, then deciding, screw that, I'm an adult, Jo stumbles into the Nation Loop's arrivals area. It doesn't take long to find her friend. All she has to do is follow the rambunctious clumps of people swarming around a single person. Through the bustling crowd, Jo can make out a bright blonde ponytail swaying back and forth. Hannah, oh my god, it's Hannah Bloom! Mama, I can't see her. Hannah, marry me, please! I guess Hannah is our best friend. I assume she's still a magical girl. She seems popular anyway. Thank you all so much. I'm so sorry, but I really have to go. With a grunt, Jo assumes her best authoritative voice. Alright folks, move it. Miss Bloom isn't taking any autographs, and if she says otherwise, she's just being nice. I, however, don't care. Putting her arm around Hannah's shoulder, Jo pushes forward through the crowd. Soon enough, the two have beaten back the rapid fans and find themselves alone in an empty hallway. You really gotta get a bodyguard or something. Some of us were just born with this natural charm, Jo. A beat, a breath, laughter. The two women hug with an indescribable force nearly 2 decades old. Yeah, this beats video chat by several miles. I guess this is the first time in a long time they're meeting in person. It's so good to see you! Breaking away from her friend, Jo gives us a mischievous grin. So Hannah, how do you want to celebrate your magnificent return to Dub City? A grease bucket. Jo barks out a laugh, awarding a pout from her friend. What? I'm serious. Do you know how hard it was fought to find proper fish and chips place? To find a proper fish and chips place in Japan? Clearly more difficult than I give it credit for. A raised eyebrow challenges Hannah once more. Aren't you on some sort of diet or health plan? With a hand on each of Jo's shoulders, Hannah looks at her square in the face. Joe, I've been living off of protein shakes and fruit for the past 2 years. I know more ways to prepare kale than I ever thought possible. Sometimes I dream of cheese. Isn't that a Half-Life 2 reference? Sometimes I dream of cheese. We are going to the grease bucket. Hannah grins. Think of it as my cheat day. Well, when you put it like that. To calibrate before a performance, especially when you're unloading new hardware into the venue. And that's what I was saying. Hannah frowns into her bite of battered fish, frustrated as some past offense. The strip of fried cod must pay for this transgression. But no, they had to call in the lead technician who had just repeated everything that I said. And get this. Another irritated bite. Poor fish. Well, it's technically a fish corpse, so it has no feelings anymore. When he fixes it, everyone on stage applauds him and says what a genius he is. Of course. That's not the worst of it, though. My producer takes me aside and says I should thank him. Anna grumbles into a mouthful of fish, her annoyed grunts mixed with delighted mumbles over the tasty food. I know that she has a little bit of a fang. Oh, actually, my cursor isn't being captured right now, which I guess is a good thing. Sometimes you don't want the cursor to appear in the video. Or while I'm playing a visual novel, sometimes you don't want my cursor to block the words and stuff. Other times though, I'm gonna show off my cursor because I'm pointing at her face right now, circling it. It's like she has a bit of a fang. I think that's cute. It's kawaii. Anyway. No justice in the world these days. None. At all. A wave of her french fry accentuates each of Hana's words. She emphatically indulges in a bite of the crispy golden snack, satisfied that her case has been heard. On a dime, Hana's expression turns from one of petulance to curiosity. But that's ancient history now. Enough about me. What about you? How's work been? Joe silently cringes. She knew the conversation would get here eventually. It's good. Honey's good. Work is work. You know. But it's good. Is it good, Joanna? Yeah, no it is. I mean, it's work. Same old, I mean. Oh my gosh, Hannah Bloom. A squeaky voice pops up from behind the pair, saving Joe from her self-imposed embarrassment. You know, maybe you should have worn a disguise, you know, celebrities always wear, like sunglasses and a hat, cover their face and whatnot. As Hannah turns around to call her name, Joe leans over the damp wooden railing. Her gaze shifts towards the seagulls below, mostly grateful for the distraction. Hey there! Hi, hello, Hannah, Miss Bloom, just Hannah will do. Yeah, Hannah, I love your work, your tour and live albums and everything. I mean, I got them all and live albums. They really are like, I know, they're like equivalent, like, they're like idols, but also magical girls. The conversation carries on, but Joe quickly tunes it out. Throwing french fries towards seagulls. Actually, can you give french fries to seagulls? I don't know, is it healthy? I know sometimes you can't give white bread, to birds because it's actually not very healthy. Sea dreams, that's very appropriate. Or next to a sea or an ocean. Or is it a lake or an ocean? I'm not sure. Turns it out, she's gotten quite good at developing her selective hearing. With her appetite gone, Joe figures that the seagulls will enjoy her fries far more than she would. Despite the warning signs, or perhaps because of them, she flicks fry after fry down below. Well, again, either I don't remember, but I don't know if French fries are very healthy for seagulls. Though probably the sign is there also because you shouldn't feed food to the seagulls because then they'll just keep coming, right? Coming to the same place. The squawking beach birds assemble beneath the dock, eager for their latest illegal offering. Oh no, we're doing the crime! Joe puts on a practiced air of nonchalance. Let let Hana have her conversation. She's the magical girl, right? The Mahou shoujo that comes with the territory. It was her decision after all. A light tap on her shoulder brings Jo back from the edge of her memories. You know that's unhealthy for them, right? Yeah, that's what I was saying, Hana. Huh? The seagulls, you dits? Oh well, this is their cheat day, right? Just like that, Jo sports a shit-eating smirk and wipes away any trace of unease she might have had. A sensible chuckle escapes Hana's mouth as she caps off the pen she's holding and waves goodbye to her fan. So, how much will an authentic Hana Bloom signature get me on the internet, huh? Enough, I wonder if bars will accept it as legal tender. Something tells me they won't. Hana leads into the railing, matching Jo's posture. Her eyes sparkle with uncomfortable curiosity. Anyways, you never finished telling me about your work. Oh no, she remembered. What exactly have you been doing? I mean, it's just... Before Jo has a chance to fully choke up, a summery pixel melody chirps from inside one of Hana's pockets. Again, I guess the dialogue always keeps mentioning music changing. Maybe I should change the music every time the game mentions it. Pixel though, I don't know any of these are chiptunes. When I'm with her, that's also relevant. I'm with Hana. Shoot, hold that thought. Hello? Oh wait, no, actually I think that was, I thought that was music changing, but actually that was, maybe her ringtone, actually? What? What? But I just got back home. Come on, Mel. With a dejected huff, Hana relents to what her request was just made of her. Alright. Is she gonna be busy at work? Thought we were gonna hang out with her best friend, but guess not. I'll be there in a bit. I'm over in the old district. See you soon. That was my assistant. She says I've got an S-level performance over in Japantown as a welcome home celebration. Yay me. The dream doesn't ever stop, huh? Always busy in the day of the #1 magical girl. Hey, you should come by. We can hang out backstage before the show like we used to. Oh, please. Despite knowing this is a fight she could win, Jo relents. Alright. I'll go. Perfect. Finishing off the last scraps of her food, Hana wipes her hands clean and smiles. Show starts at 6. Don't be late to being early. Yeah. I'll see you then. Jo throws her friend a half-hearted wave goodbye as she skips away. Somewhere in the back of her mind, she's convinced herself she'll regret this. I mean, she doesn't know she want to be in the show. I wonder if there's any sort of, maybe a little bit of jealousy, maybe, I don't know. We're best friends, but complicated there, some complicated feelings towards Hana. With a few hours to kill until Hana's performance, Jo finds herself wandering around the boardwalk. She can't recall the last time she was here in the daylight. It's a bit strange seeing it filled with so many people. All the same to her anyways. Jo has no problem sinking into her music and becoming invisible. It's been a while. Wonder how Maria is. Thoughts of Jo's old instructor pop into her head, spurred on by the concert she's been invited to. Maria. Well, Maria, I think it's Maria, was always supportive of Jo. There was an underlying current of disappointment that neither would address. Or maybe it was just Jo's imagination. Yeah, I wonder why Jo has retired from being a magical girl. Maybe she wasn't good at it, or maybe she wasn't as passionate about the career? A smirk pops up on Jo's face at the thought of her old coach chastising her for getting caught up in her head. Maybe I should swing by the blue lights open. Thoughts of her midnight haunt draw her pacing towards a familiar set of alleyways, past candy stores and souvenir shops that sell different combinations of the same merchandise. She's fairly certain that some of this Dub City memorabilia has been here since she was little. Old ass tourist traps hawking their kitschi garbage onto equally kitschi people. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this word. I don't even know what the word is. What does this word mean? Kitschi. You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now because I love learning. Kitschi definition. I'm gonna search it on Google. Of art objects or design. Considered to be in poor taste because of excessive garishness or sentimentality, but sometimes appreciated in an ironic or knowing way.
Kitschy.
Okay, that sounds pronounced. Catchy. Catchy. I learned a new word today. I don't know if I'll remember it though. Maybe, if it pops up again in this visual novel. Soon enough, Joe's walk brings her to a cobblestone entryway. It's even grimier in the daylight, but that only adds to the rustic charm. Hours? Scribble, and close on Sunday. And Wednesday apparently is happy hour. Amazing. A freshly painted wooden sign swings above the door, proudly proclaiming the Blue Light Tavern. Estimated 1992 or ever since? I don't know. I think that's estimated or established. Established, that's the word, okay. Either it's estimated, Eastern Standard Time, or established. I think it means established in 1992. The Blue Light lost its original sign years ago, the unfortunate victim of the Yamashita High Class of 2015. In spite of the school's efforts and thanks to the blue lights, stealing the bar's sign has been an officially unofficial tradition for the graduating class. But something else catches Joe's attention. A stand-up display with glittering pastel text. FCR monthly meetup, everyone is welcome. FCR? What does that mean? FCR? Are you freaking kidding me? The organization's name is nearly enough to drive Joe away, but another line scrolls up that catches her attention. Scroll up. All drinks, half price. What's with her face? Look at her face on the top right. It's a weird face to make. The first thing that's different is the noise. There are people. People. Lots of them. The second thing is the smell. People. Lots of them. Not even discount booze is enough to keep Joe here. As she turns around to walk back out the door, somebody from behind calls her name. Joe? It is you. Ah, hey, Robert. The one thing that could have made her stay does just that. Oh, Robert. Okay. You're about 10 hours early, aren't you? Yeah. Well, I was just in the neighborhood. I thought I'd, stop by. I didn't expect this crowd, though. Probably gonna peace out. What? After coming all the way out here? Nonsense, you've gotta stay. Jo raises her hand to protest, but is stopped in her tracks by Robert's smile. Somewhere off in the distance, he's fairly certain she hears trumpets climbing into a brilliant fanfare. Oh, it looks like they're about to start. Come on, first drink is on me. Wading through a sizably small crowd, Robert lays them behind the bar and quickly produces a hefty glass of DCB for Jo. How many acronyms? What does DCB mean? Before she can give her thanks, the show has begun in earnest. Hoots and hollers from the crowd encourage whoever's on. A regular, maybe? Her outfit isn't even close to MGI standard. Soiled cargo pants, a loose tank top, and a messy mop of curly hair held precariously in place by an orange band. But that's not the worst of it. A small strip of LED lights hang above the performer, sweeping in blue and white tones. I guess this is a show. I guess like an amateur style, magical girl show. In the middle of the stage, a sculpted metal pillar has been erected. Standing a little taller than Jo herself, it whirs and sputters to life. Oh, is that a homemade portal? The hell kind of show is this? I guess you can make homemade portals from hell? Is that a thing you could do? So like you know, you could fight like weaker enemies, equivalent to your level, maybe. Joe is quick to dismiss all of it. The people, the performance, everything that's happening right now. From the center stage pillar, a hologram emerges in a quick flash of light. Its appearance is that of an A-level monster, a hopperhead if she remembers correctly. Named for its prominent, angular head and powerful leg, it's easy enough to deal with on its own. However, if left unchecked, it quickly self-replicates. Best strategy? Hit fast. Hit hard? Yeah, hit fast and hit hard. The woman on stage strikes a proudly angular pose, eliciting a cheer from the audience. Something is off. Is she? Joe's suspicions are correct. The woman doesn't pay the headhopper any mind. She hasn't even transformed. She playfully nods in time with the music, hips moving in syncopation, feet tapping back and forth. A warily energetic dance as if courting her enemy. Doing a dance, eyes closed, feeling the pulse of the music. The headhopper has begun to multiply. Well, that's not what you want to do. Its monolithic head hinges back. A smaller doppelganger begins to emerge from within. The woman circles behind it, letting it do so freely. Her dancing is graceful yet measured, the effortless movement of a seasoned magical girl. Who is she? Joe wants nothing more than to find out who she is, but can't stop watching. She stares, transfixed, waiting to see what happens. The woman has reached the lip of the stage. The headhoppers, now numbering 3, begin to approach in slow, booming leaps. With a twirl and a flourish, the woman surrounds herself in a shower of holographic bubbles. You know, yeah, Joe's advice was to just simply kill the headhoppers as soon as possible, but this woman, well, she's showing off, and it seems like, not in a prideful way, she knows what she's doing. Suddenly, a flash of silver cuts low through the cloud. The trio of headhoppers make for another leap, only to stumble clumsily into the ground. A figure dashes from the bubble cloud, kicking one of the headhoppers into the air, sending it tumbling back. I guess these are headhoppers. One leg. She's the magical girl. Piffed. How do you say that? Piffed? Piffed. The woman has emerged in a bright yellow dress, sporting a long flowing skirt ringed with pink. With her hair now in 2 tight buns, she beams a youthful aura out to the audience. You just changed the dance with me? Maybe because she was dancing before? While she's dealt with the one headhopper, the others have continued to replicate. The woman smirks. She motions out to the audience, thrusting her weapon, a hacksaw, out towards them. A hacksaw? Guess well, magical girls can have any weapon, I guess. A chorus of cheers roars back in response. Tossing her hacksaw behind her, the woman twirls around, catching it out of the air and slicing it through the Mahou headhoppers around her. The song reaches its climax, and so does she. That can mean 2 things. Anyway. The woman wastes no time in darting back and forth, hitting each and every headhopper with lightning precision. Look, sorry, I can't. Okay, I gotta get my head out of the gutter. Get my head out of the gutter. That's not what she means by climax. Anyway, on the very last chord the final headhopper falls. The woman strikes a classic magical girl pose, knee up, a peace sign pressed against a beaming eye. Hollering applause booms throughout the room. Joe simply stands, staring at the figure on the stage. I guess Joe is pretty impressed. Pretty great, huh? Miri, she's great. Oh, yeah. She's good. Now that's putting it lightly, and Joe knows that. Hey, Joe. Yeah? You haven't drunk any of your beer. Well, I guess that's to show that she was enthralled by the performance. The rest of the performances that afternoon are varying degrees of decent. Nothing quite matches Miri, the first performer, but Jo finds herself interested enough to stay. All the fights afterwards are either D or C level. Nothing remotely difficult to handle, Jo thinks to herself. Again, it's kind of weird. You could just summon portals from, like, I assume from the monster world and just beat up enemies, and that's how that's the show, you know. A literal like show that you see on stage. Even amateur performances are done. I wonder if like any of these shows go out of hand and the monsters actually win and they somehow destroy the city. I don't know. I assume there's like you know, like what do you call it, like countermeasures, I guess, in place, you know, in case that actually happens. Despite the blatantly amateur nature of the show, there's no denying the audience's enthusiasm. Yeah, you know, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter a little bit, but you know, the production value doesn't matter too much as long as the audience enjoys it, you know, and that's the true, you know, value of being in entertainment, you know. As long as the audience buys in and they have a good time, I think it's a successful show, no matter the production quality. Supportive calls cheer on the girls, several of whom are clearly embarrassed to be standing up in the limelight. Before Jo fully realizes it, 3 hours have gone by. Wow, what a turnout, huh? I assume FCR, I guess that's the name for the shows, the amateur shows, but what does it really mean? FCR, what does that stand for? I mean, I guess it's the equivalent of like, I guess in the real world it'll be like, you know, like karaoke, you know, of some variety. But FCR, well, maybe we'll figure that out later. What a turnout! Thank you to everyone who came today. Let's give our girls up here a round of applause for another fantastic FCR monthly meetup. Now, as we do every time, we're gonna end on a group number. Anyone who's interested is encouraged to join, even if you've never been on stage before. And if it's been a while, don't worry, you're in good company here. Well, what do you think, Jo? Huh? Gonna give it a go? I think I'm good. Thanks, though. No, okay. What I mean is, I told my friend that I'd meet up with her, and it's already... Oh shit, it's already 4:30? Yeah, I really gotta go. Thanks for the drink, Robert. I guess 4:30 a.m. I guess we've been here all morning. Or we're more of like a night person. Since midnight, you know? Personally, I sleep like... Oh well, at least these days anyway, I sleep around like before midnight, so... Staying up all night, it's not a thing I do, anyway. Dipping and diving through the after-work rush is a challenge on the best of days. Getting to Japantown from the old district in under 20 minutes requires a careful balance of dexterity and precision. Jo focuses on the performer. A few close calls and angry shouts are the worst she has to endure. The streets and railways have become notably congested as she approaches the Japantown waterfront. Actually, I wonder, she's on her board, right? Her railway board? Is there like cars in this world? I see a little like train there, the bullet train again, but I don't see cars. Is she like driving through like a highway? There's like cars and stuff. Well, no surprise really. Hana's popularity has only continued to rise over the past couple years, and now the prodigal daughter has returned home. 4:57. Okay, not too bad. I'll still get there on time. A voice in her head scolds her. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you're dead. Jo smiles at some unseen memory. Guess I've gotta hustle if I want to be on time then. Gauging the crisscrossing network of rails around her, she leans forward and presses into her board. Something whirs to life beneath her. In the next moment, Jo has been thrust into the air. I guess she's testing out the little boosters, the thrusters. Though didn't Vera You know, the one who worked on her board. Did she say not to use it? Might be dangerous, you know, but I guess Jill doesn't care. She's willing to take the risk. Her board shakes and sputters, but manages to hold. Well, not bad, Vera. The hover pads have given Jill barely enough lift to reach the rail above her. A few twists and turns, some purely for show, and she's managed to latch safely onto the maglev track. That calls for celebration. That means changing tape to something else. Let's see. I remember, because she keeps remembering her old tutor, her old sensei. This new track she's on is meant only for shipping and maintenance and leads directly to the venue's rail yard. The wind ruffles Joel's hairs as she zooms down the length of the track before her. She quickly catches up with the train, making its way down towards the venue. Rather than switching onto another track, Joel grabs onto a handlebar on the back of the train. Pulls her along smoothly, twists and turns at the track, gliding beneath her wheelboard. With no worry of needing to focus on steering her board, Jo takes in the sights around her. Dub City's sprawling skyline glimmers against the setting sun. The dizzyingly high metropolis gradually makes way for the open roads of Japantown. From here, she can see the waterfront. At its edge stands a massive dome, its gleaming metal shell reflecting the horizon's orange glow. A sizable crowd has already formed in and around the stadium. One more glance at her phone leaves a smirk on Joel's face. She'll definitely get there on time. The same sense of unease at the bar also hits Jo backstage. It's busy here. Too busy. She'd forgotten just how frantically organized it gets before a show. Lighting assistants hauling cables and units, stage managers barking orders, and backup dancers getting ready for their cues. Yep. Again, I keep saying this, but like, yeah, being compared to like, you know, like an idol show, you know, Japanese idols, or even like, you know, you just compare it generally, like a musical performance, right? It's kind of like that. That's the equivalent of like a magical girl to like real life. Except for the fact that they summon monsters. Though I wonder, we see like animatronics, right? So, are they real monsters or are they just animatronics? I don't know. I assume they summon like real monsters to fight. It's also uncomfortably familiar. Brushing aside the unwanted nostalgia, Jo snakes her way through the pre-show chaos towards the back of the lot. It doesn't take long before she finds Hana's trailer. The double-decker house on jets makes for an imposing sight. Plastered against the side is a massive mural of Hana dressed in her full magical girl outfit. Stars and sparkles explode around her in an impressive display. A speech bubble has Hana exclaiming something in Japanese. Really? It's kind of meta. It's been a while since Jo has practiced the language, but she doesn't doubt it's appropriately adorable. I'm pretty sure this is bigger than my apartment building. Jo makes her way up the trailer's doors and knocks. Moments later, the door opens and out pops a prim-looking woman dressed in stage blacks. Yes? Hi, is Hana... Oh, it's Koimel. Come on in, Jo. Having been granted divine permission to enter, Jo steps inside the cavernous interior of the trailer. Not only is it bigger than her apartment, it's infinitely nicer. Is that a marble kitchen counter? It is indeed a marble kitchen counter. The couches, electronics, and various sundries show just how much money MGI has been dumped into giving their magical girls all the comforts of home. Hana is sitting in front of the brightly lit mirror, stern-faced woman primping, and teasing her flowing golden locks. Right on time. I was just finishing my makeup. Girls, Jo? Jo, the girls? The young woman that opened the door smiles and lightly bows, while the older woman working on Hana's hair simply grunts. Pleasure to finally meet you, Miss Jordan. Miss Bloom has told us so much about you. Mel, could you be a dear and get Jo something to drink? Of course. What would you like, ma'am? Oh, Beer? Certainly. Preference? Cold? Cold? A cold beer, please. Right away, ma'am. Hana's assistant promptly scurries off to another room to fetch the drink. Ma'am. Hana scoffs pleasantly. Oh, that's Mel for you. I have given up on telling her to just call me Hana. Well, don't just stand there. Take a seat anywhere. Or wherever. Joe accepts the invitation and plops on a sprawling leather couch directly behind Hana. And nearly swallows Joe, the plush monster threatening to completely envelop her. After a moment of surprise, Joe relents and sinks further in. Your drink, Miss Jourdain? Mel has come back with a clear, bubbling glass of what Joe assumes to be expensive beer. After a bit of fighting to get herself upright, Joe takes the glass and tentatively sips. Shit, that's good. Thanks, Mel. Hana's assistant gives Joe a light smile and bows. Oh, my pleasure. Please don't hesitate to ask me for anything else. With that, Mel pulls out a small tablet from her back pocket and walks over to Hana. Miss Bloom, call is in half an hour. Thanks, Mel. Just as excessive as I remember it. It's nice, but it definitely doesn't beat being home. I can imagine. Speaking of, how's Nance? Well, she's good. The treatments have really been helping. You know, she asks about you all the time. Yeah, I've been meaning to stop by, really. Just feels kinda awkward without you there. Don't be silly. As far as we're concerned, you're family. Yeah, I know, it's just... Joe struggles to come up with an excuse. Sorry I haven't said hi to your cancer-ridden mom. Hospitals still freak me out. I've been too busy being depressed. Well, none of them seem particularly good. Anyways, S-level, huh? Got your set list prepped? Yep. I'm excited. It's been so long since I've worked Western Portal. But I'm not too frazzled. People say that Japanese portals are harder anyway, so I should be fine. It's kind of weird, so like, I guess Dub City doesn't take place in Japan, but it's kind of like a sort of imitation of Japan, because again, I do see like railways and stuff, you know, of like bullet trains and whatnot, and it seems like in general it looks a little Japanesey, but I guess not really. But I guess, well, we're in like Japantown, which I guess is like the equivalent of like a cultural mishmash of Japan and the current native land of where we are in Dub City. I don't know if they mentioned where we are. Maybe, well, maybe just America or Europe. I don't know. But yeah, I guess magical girls, or at least professional magical girls, they go to Japan to actually do the really, really hard stuff. I mean, they're what we trained with, right? Well, thanks, Maria. The two women laugh at the mention of their old instructor, so I guess, yeah, Hana also worked under Mario, no. Joe thinks back on those days fairly often, but it's different to openly talk about them. Oh, do you remember our first run-through of the Flight of Flamingos? Or Flight of the Flamingos? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot she named it that. It's no stupid, right? I'm not crazy? No, you're not. Well, good, because I still hate it. Don't worry, girl, it's gonna be the same enemy type for each level. Fails to mention how each tier has some different bullshit augmentation that we absolutely didn't train for. Well, to be fair, it was in the textbook. Oh, whatever. Magical girl theory is just a load of pretentious bullshit. People that takes this line of work seriously think otherwise. Smarmy voice? From the doorway comes a voice that cuts through the conversation with a casual smugness. Smug. I thought you would have remembered that much from Mario. Joe grimaces. Oh. She should have expected to see her. Sigh. Joanna. Glad to see you still remember the peasants. Content to leave the conversation with Joe at that. Sigh, or C? How you say that? I don't know how you say that. C or sigh? I'm gonna say sigh. Turns brusquely towards Hana and puts on a fantastic smile. With a small hop, she takes a seat on the makeup counter, swinging her legs playfully. Big crowd. You ready? I think the better question is, are you? Aren't you supposed to be already in place? Oh, they'll be fine. There's 2 minutes of backup dancers anyways. It's part of my tsundere charm after all. Even anime tropes are like put in on this magical girl show. Yeah, I wonder how meta is this Mahou shoujo thing anyway? Is it like exactly like the anime, or is it like, you know, some sort of like twist on it? I don't know, but it seems like they even put on a personality on, you know, apparently she's tsundere. Tai, I swear, you always do. A small giggle pops up between the two. Well, me and Joe were just talking about when we were trainees. Is that right? Despite feeling pleasantly nostalgic a moment ago, Joe now feels rather awkward. I'm sure Joe here misses being the center of attention. Oh, Sai, be nice. Alright. So, Joe, how's it being a stagehand? I'm a technician. Assistant lead technician. You know, she was before. I think I remember Joe was like, you know, not really caring about her title, but now she does, I guess. Well, congratulations on the promotion. Work is work, I'm sure. Well, I suppose it's nice to keep busy. Joe, did you tell me about all the cool backstage stuff you do? Yes, sure. Yeah, like I help break animatronics and stuff. Fix last-minute tech snags. Keep the gears greased and running and everything. Putting out that training to good use, huh? Well, you know, sometimes when you get a degree in something, sometimes you work in an area your degree wasn't really geared towards, but, you know, that's life, isn't it? Anyway. I mean, it's not what I expected I'd be doing, but it works for me. You should look into performing again, Joe. I'm sure you have some kind of seniority preference? Seniority? Well, maybe. I haven't really thought about it. You should! I hear FCR is always looking for talent. Yeah, I still don't know what FCR is. I assume FCR is like some sort of recruitment agency, you know? Or maybe, you know, they just help magical, like amateur magical girl performances and stuff. Maybe they're more your speed. Or maybe it's just like another company, you know? Because MGI is like Magical Girls Incorporated. Maybe FCR is like a rival corporation, maybe? I don't know. Oh, they're alright. At least what they're doing is genuine. Huh, okay. Yeah, genuine! Okay, that makes me even more curious. Because it seems like FCR, even though they're amateurs, they are fighting, you know, actual monsters. At least that's what we saw in the bar. But it seems like a lot of like MGI's productions, there's always talk about rigging animatronics, right? So, are the MGI girls, are they fighting real monsters, or is it really just all fake? You know? What? Nothing. I mean, it's cool. Some people like going for that whole hipster angle. Well, I think what FCR does is neat. So, need to go check out one of their shows, though. Don't bother. What, have you gone? I don't need to. I already know what I'd be getting into. Well, they're not that bad. Though ironic, Jo would probably be thinking the same thing if she hadn't seen the show herself. But now that she did, you know, now she's defending her opinion that it is actually, there is some value in it. And what's the point of them anyways? They don't even use portals. At least real magical girls provide a service to the city. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is MGI fake or is FCR fake? I don't know. Which is which? Well, whether the monster's real or not shouldn't matter. Real magical girls think about the artistry of their performance. Also, you think artistry is the most important part of being a magical girl? No, I don't. Don't put words in my mouth. It seems like a Sai and a Joe, they don't get along. Hey, end of the day, we can protect the city and entertain it at the same time. That's all that matters. Before either Joe and Sai can offer their opinionated rebuttals, Mel interrupts them with a call for places. Joe manages to hide her frown behind an empty glass and traces of foam. Well, let's give our adoring fans an unforgettable show. I've let people in the skybox know you're coming, Joe. Feel free to head up whenever you're ready. You better cheer us with all you got. Peace. Joe throws the people leaving the trailer a small wave as they file out. Yeah. This world is a bit complicated. It's like a mix of, you know, like capitalism, but also magical girls and anime. I don't know. It's a weird universe, but it seems interesting though. And just like that, she's left with the quiet of her thoughts. I guess we're not gonna go to the show right away. We're gonna go walk around a little bit first.